My name is Dan Miller. I've been a faculty member here at the Academy for 51 years. I was a student long before that, so I've seen so many changes here at the Academy, but yet I think we've held on to our basic beliefs. We teach students how to make art from the bottom up, the whole craft basis of it, and watch them develop into artists, moving off into rather brilliant careers. Our slogan is, "We make artists." But that's not true because the students make themselves. We look into the students individually, find out what it is what their natures suggest that they become, work with them in that regard to help them develop.
Really proud of our graduates tonight. They have created an amazing array of work and really displayed both their technical skill as well as their vision as artists. And we just continue to be astonished by their creativity and their talent. Tonight is our annual student exhibition, and it's their professional debut as artists. It's their first opportunity to exhibit in front of collectors and art dealers and patrons who have the opportunity to really see their work for the first time, to purchase it, to give them feedback about their work and their direction. And it's the students' first exposure to the marketplace. So it's a really important culmination of their education here at PAFA and the beginning of their career as professional artists. PAFA is unique because it is one of the only and the finest school that's entirely dedicated to training fine artists. Most art schools train designers, they train performing artists. We exclusively train fine artists. So we strive to be the best at what we do rather than try to do everything. And so we provide real depth of training, and we have about 75 faculty members who work with 300 students. So it's an extraordinarily highly mentored experience. We're one of just 2 museum schools in the nation where there's a museum and an art school joined together. So the students have the opportunity to learn from great working artists as well as from masterpieces in the collection.
About a month ago, I just started making these cutouts cathartically, and I had so many of them and I wanted to arrange them all together, but I didn't want it to be too monotonous, so I wanted to take other elements from my studio practice, like paintings I made, paper I've collected, other things that I enjoy playing with in my studio, and sort of melding them all together to create little short stories with these shapes. I like the cutouts because it's kind of like, carving into the paper in a way, so it's kind of like between painting and sculpture, and I love the way that they sort of curl and I can like move them around and they pop off the wall and they become very sculptural. So yeah, it's really interesting and fun. I've learned so much here. Everything I thought that I would be is not what I am now, which is great. And I'm really excited to I feel like I have so much to do now. I'm just really anxious to just get going and start my work from here. I might end up teaching, I'm not sure, but just making work as much as I can.
I am a critic for 3rd and 4th year students in the undergraduate program, and I sometimes teach painting. I also went to school here many years ago. This is the first night of the presentation of 3rd and 4th year students' walls. I mean, in other schools they might call this junior and senior thesis. This is an end of the year show that is a kind of consolidation of an effort that has evolved over a period of time. That one begins as a student in a certain place on the path and goes through in this school a series of changes and developments in their work. And this is a show in which students are given the opportunity to reveal to us where they are at in their adventure. How they select their work to be displayed is a matter of personal preference. Some people will select work that they think will sell. Others, like this wall, my student Drew Rain will curate the wall as a kind of organic unity. And this work, I don't think he's considering this work in terms of sale. I think he's shaping the appearance of the wall to reflect some ideas he has about where his work is at now. Most of these students aspire to be artists, but can they really know what that means? You know, they've been in a hothouse environment for 3 or 4 years. They really don't know much about the world. The world waits to be discovered, so they aspire to be artists. But really, it's a huge playing field ahead of them, you know, because what are artists? And how does an artist live? This is just the beginning. School is just the barest first step. This is a student, Maisie O'Brien, who began as a printmaker and evolved into making small sculptures and is now exploring video. This is a drawing made with one pencil. I know it's hard to imagine that black is not paint. This drawing to me is remarkable, that I almost don't need anything else on the wall, that this drawing offers enough of a voyage-like experience to hold my attention for a very long time. You know, not only does it have a certain kind of graphic impact in terms of the narrative story from standing back, but when we get close up, when we get close up and start to look, many things are revealed in terms of the material and how it's done. And, we begin to notice all kinds of places, like look at that dark right there and how poignant that dark mark is within the context of all of this. And these are face-like shapes, and it's a huge and extended narrative. And she wasn't doing work like this when she began school. This is an example of what happens here when someone has 3 years, 4 years, 5 years to work. Simply to sink into work and to see what happens.
I'm KAITLYN BASTA. I'm a 4th year BFA. I'm a painting major, and I work with all kinds of media, mostly oil painting and drawing media, graphite. This is definitely the most challenging and vigorous thing I've ever done with my life. I'm from Minneapolis originally. Just give you an idea of where I come from. I never saw the ocean. I lived in the middle of the country, so I decided to go as far as I could. So I chose Philadelphia, and it's a rich, very rich school for its history and, of course, for its what it teaches. And I've been surrounded by such wonderful peers, and it's inspiring. And how many vigorously passionate people are going to be in one place again. And, I'm graduating with that, and I treasure it.
My name is ELISE Broadway, and I am a senior at PAFA, so this is my final year. This is actually my second ASE, and I have taken a lot of challenges this year with my work. I'm doing a lot with food, the relationship between people and food, myself and food, and loved ones, and what I'm served and where I go in the world. So as you can probably see from my work, I get a lot of influence from East Asian cultures, which I actually minored in at UPenn. So I've done a lot of studies, and I was able to go over and make a lot of friends with people. And so a lot of the portraits and the imagery that comes through is from my personal interactions in East Asia, mostly in Japan and Korea. And I hope you all enjoy the show. Thank you so much.
My name is Eric Fuller, and my work this year is primarily photography based and installation. I'm working with sculpture and from mechanical plans and creating work based on history, and that's all about decentering your sense of time within history. What's going on is that I'm taking photographs of sculptures that I'm making and doing performances with costumes based on things in history.
It's been a very rewarding experience, especially coming back as an older student, first working in ceramic and then actually transitioning to what my family's always worked in, which is wood. So I'm technically the fourth generation carpenter in my family, but I didn't know how to turn it into a studio practice. So this year it was a learning process, I'd say, because it actually helped me dig into my family's past, and I realized what I wanted to do for my ASE, which was create a homage to my great-grandfather, who actually came here from Italy. So on the reverse side of where the heads are his original manifest from 1923. And each time the heads are being spun, it's supposed to be reminiscent of what the immigrants were witnessing as they were coming into Ellis Island. So this is actually, my installation is a journey of immigration, and the title of the installation is What Was, Still Is.
Okay. These pieces are kind of about the absurdity of assessing beauty, assessing people's value through beauty and awards.
Hi, I'm Emily HIRTLE, and I'm a third year at the Pennsylvania Academy of the Fine Arts. I'm getting my BFA and certificate in painting. What inspires me, I guess for my subject matter, is what attracts me. You know, if I have an initial reaction to something I like, then I would want to paint it or draw it. And what I want from my work, or what people to get from it, is I wanted to elicit an emotional response that's personal to them. My experience at the Academy, I started drawing and painting 3 years ago. Before that, I studied stage directing at Otterbein University. So it was a switch, but I come from a family of artists, just never really practiced, but since I came here, I've really enjoyed my experience, and I love painting and drawing.
I wanted to try and make a electromechanical composition. Many people build Tesla coils, and I had never built a Tesla coil, and I wanted to try and put it into a cohesive composition like I've done in this. Well, this piece originally began as a ceiling hanging piece. The elements that you see going up and down are suspension insulators. You use them on power lines. Ever since I was a little boy, I would stare out the window of my parents' car driving past them, and for some reason I was just mystified by them. And I finally came across a chance to get a whole bunch of them, and I did, and I decided to sort of do a Duchampian thing and just flip them upside down. And then I thought more about it, and I thought about what they're actually designed for and why they're designed that way, which is they're designed to have water drape around them and go off of them. So I decided to reverse that. And so now the surface tension of it's actually oil, wraps around and goes down in a nice cascade kind of fashion type thing. It has a 250-pound weight, which is completely off-center from the center of gravity. So in conceiving of it, I was not sure whatsoever if it would actually stand or if it would just face plant. So I decided to widen its footprint as much as possible, and it actually is incredibly stable because it does a crazy thing where the weight pulls down extremely hard on that outrigger, which then winds up acting as a lever, so it puts a ton of pressure on these front feet, and then that all deflects to the back one and just completely evens it out entirely. My aspirations may be to go into architectural metal fabrication as a business venture, but I really like making machines and steel structures of all kinds.
My name's ELANA, MALLOV, and I generally paint in oils, but I like to dabble with anything, acrylic, gouache, and I get my inspiration from like living in the city a lot, and these are all places that I know, that I see on a day-to-day basis and I'm familiar with, and you know, I have a relationship with, and I'm really interested in night light, as you can probably see, and the neon effects that it gives off.
A bit of a color experiment. I'm asking people to associate a color with a shape over here, and once they've done that, once a number of people have done that, I will tally all the results and kind of see if there are any trends, to see if people agree that one color has one shape, or if a group of colors tend to have a group of different shapes. In the previous experiments, I found some really good trends, and that I use those previous experiments and surveys to kind of develop these shapes as they are. People that have permanently been visually impaired, never been able to see color in their life, to them, red, blue, green, those are almost meaningless words. You can kind of try to explain what those colors are, but you might not be able to do it justice. So if you had a tactile aid that people that are visually impaired are more accustomed to, you might be able to communicate what those colors are better. And that's what art is about. It's about communicating.
So the one that I got was the Hobson Pittman, which is awarded by an outside judge, and that one in particular was awarded by someone like eminent within the art world that the dean appointed. So I won't get to find out who that person was, but it was specifically for like a more experimental work. So I feel really good about winning that one, because it's nice to like know that someone can come in from like outside of the institution and like not know anything about me as a student and choose my work just based on that merit alone. So yeah, I feel very good about that one.
My name is Kelly Cully. I'm on the women's board. I'm also the co-chair of this year's ASE, which we're at right now. It's a great turnout. We've got over 500 people here, and we are raising money for PAFA's student scholarships. Everyone can purchase art. Part of the proceeds goes back to the school. We've been raising money all year, and this is the capstone of all of these students' courses, and their work is just phenomenal. It really speaks for itself, so I didn't have to do very much, thankfully. I'm honored to be on the women's board. I'm new this year, and they're just a great group, a dynamic group of women, and I'm thrilled to be involved. It's an excellent institution, and I appreciate the talent and the work and time and energy that goes into all of it. The work is up all month long, so anyone can come see the artwork, purchase the art if it's still for sale. But the draw of this event is the earlier you come, the sooner you can buy, and you're guaranteed to get the work that you want if you come in at 4 o'clock. So next year, come in at 4. Interesting event because all year the Women's Board is raising funds and popularity, or they're raising funds and getting the word out about this event while the students are in class and creating the work and kind of finessing their craft, and everything comes together at this event. It's a great send-off for them. Their graduation is tomorrow, so we're just pleased to be involved in this way. We're thrilled, and again, the work just speaks for itself. It's not very hard. It's a great event.
It's the first time that curators and gallerists and people from the arts communities, both here in Philadelphia and in New York, get a chance to see their work and and really judge them. So this is really their first entree into their professional careers, and it's wonderful to see how excited they are and to see who they might become.
I'm a member of the Women's Board here, and the Women's Board has been putting on the annual student exhibition preview party for a number of years. This is the 115th year of the annual student exhibition preview party. The preview goes on for a month, but most of the objects are bought this evening, so everybody rushes in to get the good ones. And the school itself, the Pennsylvania Academy of the Fine Arts, is the oldest continuing art school and museum in America. The Women's Board is here to support the school and the students. All of the proceeds from this evening go to support student scholarship, and that's where our heart is. But we have, in the past, contributed up to $250,000 and even more towards purchase of a painting or something special like that. So we're very proud of what we've done, and we love to do it.
I'm George Struhl, and I run Retina Studio 21, and we're proud to be this year's television sponsor to make sure that we get the message out about what's happening here. This is exciting. These are young people there, and not so young people, but they're all interested in the arts and moving forward with new visions. And that's what we do on a television side. They're doing it on many other sides. So we're proud to be here.
PAFA Student Show is a month-long event, which people don't realize. There's a preview party, which is what we're at tonight, but the event actually stays open for an entire month. It's open to the public, and it's free. And it's all of these students' works that are exhibited and for sale. So we want to support them because the proceeds support their future careers as well as PAFA. And it's an event that we have every year. So this is the 115th annual event. So next year, at this same time, you can purchase a ticket to the preview party, or you can come the following days for at least 3 or 4 weeks for free. And these students are students that will not only graduate from here, but go on to become student artists that are in museums, such as Pennsylvania Academy of Fine Arts, which is not only an art school, the nation's oldest art school, but also a museum. And so the museum is open all the time. We encourage everyone to come to the show. We encourage everyone to come to the museum and see all of these wonderful American artists and support this institution, which without everyone's support would cease to exist.
This is one of our students, Oliver SOLMITZ, second year MFA, graduating, and this is his installation here, and maybe Oliver could say a few things about the general direction of these pieces.
Well, indeed. So the materials are essentially materials that we as a society throw away: cardboard, tarp, and shop towels, paper towels. And so this is elevating these materials into celebration, maybe too strong a word, but nonetheless making something of something that we normally throw away. And it's certainly a nod to modernism in terms of art history, and in the sense that paintings in terms of color relationships, and the work is always about space.
My undergrad was in illustration. I was a painter and I was into painting and drawing before I came here, and I switched to installation to try and flesh out a lot of ideas that I had, a lot of concepts about environmental issues, corporate structure issues in America, class issues in America, and I kind of use found materials, made materials, painting, drawing, photography now, and do a little bit of installation work.
We're enjoying the show very much tonight. Howard and I were part of the Venture Fund group that supported creation of some of these pieces that we see in the show. So it's really wonderful to see the students whose work we funded about 4 months ago, to see what kind of work they created in their studios and what they brought to the show. We think that this year's show is really exciting and enjoying. Always great to be back at PAFA.
I come every year. My goal here tonight is to look at the broad variety of artwork that's produced here by the school and the students, and hopefully find more artwork for my home, because this is the best artwork you can find in Philadelphia.